I know I said I wasn't gonna do it, but I did it. I never figured out who that was. Why is it closing? Yeah, I decided to show you guys of the two endings just because
This was the best one yet.
this was the ending I chose where I saved nobody, just so you guys know.
Too much. Enough of this. Get up, Justine. I really should keep this door locked. Mademoiselle Justine, are you down there? Is everything all right? Of course, Clarice, I'm quite all right. Is everything ready for tonight?
Yes, the goose is ready any minute now. The guests should be arriving within the hour. Did I hear voices from downstairs?
I certainly hope not.
Oh, silly me.
Yes, silly Clarice.
Silly Clarice. The ending was kind of the same. Thought something else was gonna happen. Alright, well, let's try to go for the one where we save everyone. That one's gonna be a little more taxing. Especially the first person saved. It's a little bit annoying. Also found out how to avoid the creature early on in the first place. Try to save everyone. After I show you guys this, I'm hoping I can do this in one go, but after I show you guys this, I'm gonna turn on machine control. Hopefully this won't take too long.
It is my study of the human psyche, specifically yours.
One second. It's funny, when I first started playing, I always thought that meant she was still in the hallway with me. So, apparently if I don't go in there, she doesn't come out. Or he doesn't come out, whatever it is. So, I learned that last time. better with these blocks. Just a little better though, not a whole lot better. So I have to do that. Then I have to grab the last one here. Put it, damn it. Put it there. Alright, so far so good. Working on it. Yeah, so now I'm gonna grab this.
Can you hear me? It's not too late to set things right.
Hold on. Is this how I did it before? No, I had one more next to it. That's right. I had on the side. Yeah, like that. Hold on. 1 second. Trying to get it to go on its side. Yeah, like that. Oh, whoops. Hold on. Forgot one thing.
Anyone
I
there?
forgot the broken ladder piece. Be right back. It's over this way. No. Never mind. Where was it? Over. What the shit? Was it this way? Okay, it was. I don't know why I forgot where it was for a second. It's weird.
How did you escape?
Now, jump, jump. Damn it. Hold on, let's try this again. God damn it. Oh, come on.
Have you seen
Why
Justine?
is it rolling on? Stay here. Here. Thank you. Boom. Boom. 1 second. Then my dog out. Alright. So that's how you save the first guy. You know, closing the door behind me in that last area does me so many wonders. It's gonna be a little bit of a bitch and a half to save the last guy though. So, oh yeah, I also kind of want to see, because I need a cylinder in the phonograph. I want to see if that's in here before I go. What counts as a cylinder? Question mark. What does that do? Nothing. Yeah, it didn't do anything. This count as a cylinder? I don't know why it would, but okay, I don't know. It's not that big a deal. Whatever that leads to, but I'm more concerned about getting the good ending, so let's do that. So the second guy, again, I know how to do it. It's just why that's the answer, I don't know. Still haven't found out how that's the answer to the puzzle, how you would know. save this guy. This is all we gotta do.
Who are you?
We just gotta take the fourth one here,
Who's there?
lift out, and then take the third one here, put it at the bottom, pull it down.
Look out for Trustee.
Oh, she is. She's very close indeed. So now we're gonna go all the way down here. And then we're gonna see her here again. Like usual. And then we're gonna hide and wait like usual till she passes by. Hopefully it doesn't take her too long to do that. I always hate when they play the music at that last part just to fuck with me. Cause I never look back, so I don't know how close she actually is when you reach that part, but it always fuck with me the first couple times I did this. Alright, so now, open that, open that. I hope I'm able to save the last guy. Because that one, like I said, that one's going to be a little difficult to save him. Because I have to turn the knob completely to help him. Otherwise it won't count. At least I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure you have to make sure it's completely closed. Right here. And then I wish I would have known this in the beginning. It would have made it a lot easier for me to do this. Oh shit! Come on, jump, 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 jump. Ooh. Holy shit! Fucking did it. That's the last part that's a bitch. That part right there. I mean, I'm pretty sure I had him covered. I didn't hear him scream, because before when I did it, the very first time, the guy screamed in pain. But I'm pretty sure I covered him, so it should count. I'd be pissed if it didn't. But that guy should be alive. So we're gonna go all the way at the end here. All the way down here. visual. I'm gonna be so pissed if that didn't count, because he didn't even scream. So pissed if that doesn't count.
And so it comes to an end. Now that you've seen what you truly are, you are able to go on and face eternity without fear, without doubt. This was the best one yet. So elaborate. It's just too much.
Oh, thank goodness. I was like, oh, fuck, come on, man.
Enough of this. Get up, Justine.
Wait, come on, get us out of here!
It's all right. No one will be coming through that door. It's locked and bolted.
So we're still leaving them down here regardless?
Don't want any of the guests coming in here.
Mademoiselle Justine, are you down there? Is everything all right?
Of course, Clarice, I'm quite all right. Is everything ready for tonight?
Yes, the goose is ready any minute now. The guests should be arriving within the hour. Did I hear voices from downstairs?
I certainly hope not.
Oh, silly me.
Yes, silly Clarice.
Well, at least I did all three. One second. Alright. Why isn't it showing it there? Big five. Yeah, that's definitely hard to get. So now I'm gonna close it, and then I'm gonna open it, and we're gonna start a machine for pigs, which I'm actually pretty stoked about. Especially with the ominous music they were playing. Fucking love it. and I got not all night to play it, but I got like 2-3 hours to play it, so I plan on playing quite a bit. There you go. I'm gonna start this shit. He who makes a beast of himself removes himself from the pain of being human.
Daddy, please don't kill me.
So, I really hate to hear that. Oh, I was in the bed. Weird. In my dreams, I see a man dressed in jaguar skins and feathered like a bloodied saint. What came from the heart lubricated us. It crushed evil under its tread and liberated us all. The foetid heat of the jungle mirrored somewhere behind my forehead. My temple pounds, the blood boils in my skull. It feels as if there is something alive there, a rat, a damn rat, gnawing through my brains, eating its way out into the world. Even the landrum will not quell its endless hunger. I hear my children playing in the attic, but it fills me with terror, not love. What desperate thoughts are these? That's it. Oh, June 24th, 1899. Okay.
I held your hand and watched the blood pool between your legs. You lived long enough to see Edwin, but not Enoch. I will take care of them, my love. I promise you this.
You can't pick that paper up, right? No. Why are the beds like this? They have cages around them. Fucking weird. Can't touch that. Can't touch that. Bathroom, nothing in here either. So let's head upstairs.
Papa, Papa, this way.
There's that. Excuse me. Interesting.
There's a bad man coming.
From where? Bad man coming. What the shit? I saw that. I saw that. So which way do I have to go? Oh, it's cool to have a different lantern. Daddy says there won't be a Christmas this year. He is much too busy. Nanny says we must not disturb him. He is ever so busy. He's gone for work before she wakes us, and often we are asleep before he returns. We find a bird in the garden with a broken wing. We gave it to Nanny, who said it was a filthy thing and hit it with a rolling pin. Later we crept downstairs to bury the body when everyone was asleep. There was a pig in the garden. We heard it snuffling about. Then Daddy came and said we had to come inside straight away. He was furious, but we think he'd been crying again. Interesting. I don't like that music. It's usually not a good sign in games like this. Yes, he said, I know these ruins. He was a shabby fellow, all rotten with some malodorous disease. I caught him looking at me strangely as if, excuse me, what he really wanted to know was how I knew of them. To me, body back temptation to box his ears from the impudence, I simply smiled and told him that my family's library contained intriguing travel books. The illiterate oaf did not understand that. Of course, he agreed to lead us anyways. I have told the children truly this will be an extraordinary venture. If those old stones hold the financial benefits I predict, it will be merely the first step.
You don't mind if I record this, do you? I find it most useful.
Ah, you have one of those wonderful demented bills. No, of course not, Matthew.
It's my own design, Professor, along with everything you see.
Most useful. You understand, of course, by the list you sent me, that they have concerns.
Hello?
Precious eagle cactus fruit. Help us.
Eagle cactus fruit? What does that even mean? The bank is refusing credit, the ignorant swine. I sit alone at night and weep. Once the children and servants are safely asleep, then they cannot hear me. My darling, how I need you now. They say I have squandered my fortune, that my investment in these latest machines has ruined the family name. What, that I was to remain a local butcher. What are these two arms compared to the multitude that can be applied without pay, without time, by adapting the mechanisms we find in the looms and mills? But if the bank has its way, it will all come to nothing. If they come for the house, I swear I will kill them. I will kill them all. I will take my rifle. Yeah. You're crazy, buddy. Yeah, just kill people now. There once we sat to the weep, lilies passing, under weapons I cannot slay the angels to retrieve her from heaven. Look beyond the paintings, Oswald, where once you watched her bathe. The children must have discovered those secret places and taken refuge there. Attics and nurseries. But they slept in the attic when they were babies in arms, and perhaps they've hidden there now. I remember I insisted upon it midway between my bedroom and my office. So what the weeping pictures is it? Oh, can't open it. Outlet. Can't open that. Can't open that. Slowly will make it open. Those do not look like real kids, they look like fucking ghosts. Oh yeah, I can see through the painting. Replacement is dissatisfactory. Select pump. Better the intestinal canal, like a tapeworm already hosting intrusion and debris. Brass better than copper, more resistant. Filaments swollen to bone hold. A marrow pipe removal with needle potential. Composite replacement straightforward. Will respond to electromagnetic inducement to increase yield rate. Serum provides accelerated resetting, resulting in naturalized movement within 2 to 3 days. Subjects still require severing of frontal lobes to reduce emotional distress upon reactivation. Damn it, damn this wretched soul, if only it were possible. Weird. Oh, damn. Literally living in the walls, like.
This dawning epoch, this age of reason, an empire grown fat, ripe for the bleeding.
So whoever was in here could see me the whole time. Daddy says we're not allowed to play with animals anymore. We were playing hide and seek with Cook, and he came and shouted at us just as we were going to hide behind Mr. Grumpy Teddy. Cook says it's because of the guns in there, but he always lets us help polish them, so it can't be that. Anyway, that room is haunted. If you sneak around there at night, you could hear the ghosts in the walls behind the cases. They're often angry, or that's how I think it sounds. I think that's why you could hear them rattling their chains and slamming doors and things like that. We don't like it in there anyways.
This way, Papa. Come and see.
Maybe I don't want to come and see. Maybe some things are just better left unseen. Maybe. Loving that daddy shit.
I must say, my dear man,
Yes, sir. I seem to have picked up something rather nasty.
I do understand what you've been through. A lesser man would have crumbled. Yet you have made all this. Your great factory, your charities. It is a wonder for one man alone.
It will all be made clear, Professor. But first, a drink.
First, a drink. Alright, so other side. Go outside. Question mark, why? What happened here? Like,
Mandus, do you know me? Who are you? Where are my children? Trapped, Mandus, far below us. The machine is fouled. It is breached. It is flooded. The bulkheads are down. The children are engaged. If you help me, I can help you release them. Restore the power, Mandus, drain the flooding, and restart the great engines. Where should I go? Hello? Hello?
and just wants his kids back. I am to have a visitor, the distinguished professor, Professor A. He is coming to ascertain my mental well-being after my prolonged absence from the club, but I am not stupid. He is here to spy for them. When they stalked the Ripper, he was often called to pontificate upon lacerations and missing organs. And now he comes to me to Duff and Weedle and my dear sir, and but you must still grieve, and perhaps just a quick look at your engines, the triumph of the age. He knows nothing of loss, nothing of sacrifice, but to refuse, that would simply poke the hornet's nest, invite a swarm of interlopers and thieves. I must entertain this buffoon and submit to his intrusion. Perhaps I should show him the trippery, see whether his stomach, so trained by rummaging in the innards of clumsily vivisected horrors, is strong enough to stare into the real engines of his golden age, and may even introduce him to Jack, or his sons at least. We have stronger locks on the windows now, and we bring their toys to them. Wait, so which way am I supposed to go? Am I supposed to go down here? Am I supposed to go outside? Like, I don't fucking know. I need an item. Proceed, looks like. So, I guess maybe I have to go here anyways.
Hands are bleeding, raw. I scrub and scrub, but the smell will not lift. How can I hold my children with these hands now? How can I kiss them goodnight with lips that have issued such instruction?
That's cool. They didn't have that in the original. Dark percent and stuff like that. That's cool. I don't see anything else here. So now let's look at the two areas outside. There's one. There's nothing I can do here, just be outside, I guess. Also, I didn't go this way. Finding a whole bunch of things, but I don't know where I'm going. Can't open that. Okay, there's this way. What about the other way? The door. About this way. Part of the house. I don't know. I'm like lost, but in like a different way. Not lost like nothing's happening, but like lost as in like there's so many different ways to go. I don't know which way is the right way and which way is just has some extra stuff. That means I missed out on something, or I don't know what that means. But I guess this will be enough.
I will cry all the way home. I will have none. I will have none at all.
Maybe so. I was supposed to go to Steve Parks. I don't know what was in the other side of that, because I didn't get to explore it, but I guess it's not whatever now.
Come on, Daddy. It's this way.
This is definitely odd. Definitely odd.
Come and see
all mixed and the bones turn to jam. We'll raise the glass conley tam. Well, at least I got one of the trophies. That's something.
Come on, slow coach. It's this way.
Slow coach. Never before. Trapped. Was it a trick? The voice on my phone, who seems so close to my own, seems to know me so well. Does he lead me for a nefarious purpose of his own secret devising? And do I have a choice? Even though his motives are unknown to me, I must find my boys. All the machinery down to the very core of the earth if it leads to Edwin and Enoch. Here's discovery. Metal tickling as it cools and contracts. This will be the strangle machine my new friend told me of. My children discovered this place is entirely conceivable. They strayed downwards, delighted in their discovery very well. It seems my route is predestined. The descent begins. Bears and bathtubs. After the party, she took my arm and said, "But darling, however did you get from the trophy room to the guest bathroom so quickly? Everyone considers you quite the magician, my darling Elizabeth. My father's house has many rooms. As for mine, well, it also has its secret chambers." And all that voice on the telephone, he speaks as if he knows me, and indeed I seem to remember him, like a twin pulled away from the other at birth. I feel we are entwined, though I cannot conceive of how. I am a drowning man grasping for the surface within my own house. Beneath me, I know there are splendid architectures hidden and dark if I can only find entrances.
The shaking ground you feel is our attempts to clear the floodwaters. Treachery, Mandus. We were undone. Your children are trapped by this act. You must find them before it is too late.
What do you need me to do? How can I find them?
Always deeper, Mandus. Through the piston room and into the tunnels. Then find the bilge and flush the rotten water. I will help you where I can. But you must be swift, my little friend.
Well, thanks for an enigmatic help, like. Saboteur has been this way. Intriguing, the gates are far too heavy for a man to lift and are instead hoisted aloft by a chain coiled about a tube that appears to be spun by motors connected to these electrical switches. Whilst the fuse is blown, the motor cannot be spun and the gates will remain impenetrable barriers to progress.
I have carried this world on my back with its legs about me. Damn this wretched soul. I am given birth to nothing but machinery.
I like this one so far, a little better than Amnesia, just because so far, not atmosphere wise, but just so far, it seems like I'm not really getting stuck, and I feel like getting stuck kind of impedes the enjoyment of a game like this. So, now what? I hear something wrong. Maybe there's something else that is going on. I'm going this way. Von Kieshenbach writes of the Odic horse, whilst that ignorant charlatan Blatsky pontificated upon the soul. They are both Cretans. To think one could strive for such great heights without wading first through the puke and innard, without standing upon an architecture of bones. Montezuma was the wiser, but here is our temples of steel. I have witnessed a severed head of a man recently trampled to death by a runaway carriage, immersed in a solution of the Brennenburg compound open his eyes and cry, "Oh, where are my legs, sir? Where is my body? We are breaking through the barriers of death itself. Oh, my dead, darling Lily, is it too late for you? I promise you this, I will save our children from death, and if need be, I will wrench them back from the blackness with this wonderful concoction." Jimmy. We'll see, sir. You will see. What? I saw that. Boy left. Can I grab this one? I think I'm back where I was before. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, good idea, guys. I have a feeling that the pigs are Lincolns. Or at least two of them. Yeah, they really fucked this shit up.
Hold still, for God's sake, hold still, child. Don't let it get into your eyes. I'm going to rinse it out now. There. It will be fine. You just need to lie down. Enoch, look to your brother. How many times have I told you not to play in the cellar?
Hey, you're all good people. So, I have to go this way.
I told you he'd come.
Extraordinary, quite extraordinary. And you broke it all. Good job, man. You have beauties.
It is wonderful how tragedy focuses the mind. What else was I to do? Fall into grief, pine, and fade in my hopelessness? Why not then simply die in that jungle amongst those dead temples?
stream. I was hoping they were going to do this. I don't know what to turn first. I guess that's highlighting the house I'm in, I guess. Collar, the neck, the noose. Such a fanfare. Times wrote it was a splendid occasion. The bunting stretched for streets, and the fanfare blew. Proud day for the family. Second. Sabotage. Another confounded fuse box. Fellow is thorough in his sabotage of somewhat repetitive. The stench from these barrels is quite discomforting. I would certainly hope that whatever chemistry this room is designed to store is not a defining feature of the flood that threatens my children. That's clear. Seems this chemical processor is merely one part of a larger complex. No easy route for me then. I'll follow my fever. The calls of my children, wherever they may lead me, as I move further into this strange empire. Dr. Elpses, all suggestions of a large workforce, yet no actual signs of life. It is every bit as if someone has attempted to carefully create the illusion of a working factory complex. Yet this facade, when examined closely, is clearly just a falsification, but I must put aside my anxieties, quell the unease that pits my stomach, and continue on my path.
I have such visions to share with thee. If my jaw be unshackled and you harvest the crust from my eyes, make me clean, Mandus, that my thoughts and words can unfouled be.
So my name is Mandus. Cool. So I'm just getting an update for Sirens. But then What if they could stand upright and walk as men? What if the brute were harnessed thus? Would they sing? Would they find their own God? I have seen these things, and I will tell you now. No, no, they will not. But they will happily accept fealty to a God thrust upon them and worship it thus given. And this I realize they are no different to the masses. They are much the same as us. Once this irrevocable threshold is passed, I understand that we too are shackled and must be set free. Free the man, we cut the man. In order to cross that great evolutionary line, it must first be painted upon the ground. What's in here? In America, they talk of building their cities to the skies. To meet this seems folly, but perhaps it is simply a case of a nation founded without a history of its own. We walk upon our histories. They are compacted into very loam beneath our feet. Foam, I think that means. Engineers were employed, talked of this. They talked of how when building the underground trains, they would often come across older tunnels crisscrossing the capital. What places lie buried beneath us? We are digging, excavating, and appropriating what we find. At the center of the planet, my architect tells me there is a great iron ball. It is the egg of the world. Reach the center of the earth. So there's no reason to open that. We integrate the very latest knowledge of chemistry using low levels of laudanum derivative and feed to subdue the product even before the initiation of the process. This means that when we drag them from holding pens onto the line, they are less likely to panic and damage machine components, other products of themselves. This section of the belt is sheathed in rubber and kept well lit to maintain good spirits, and we have actually found that the intelligent placement of gramophones and simple acoustic amplification tubes around the line means we could use music to further soothe the product. We find the buzzy particularly effective in this word. I think that's it. Said something. Warning: fueling pumps by volatile chemicals are in use. These materials are highly corrosive. Wear protection. Well, I have no protection of any kind, so I guess we're just gonna figure it out. Pumping station. It appears to be some kind of fueling station. I have seen automobiles demonstrated at Mr. Yarham in Mr. Simmons' works, but the smells here is all wrong. This is not petroleum, of that I am sure. Everything suggests to me that this machine must be significant in some way. Imagine, they say a machine one day that might think like a man, as if this is to be desired. One might almost boast of creating a man who breeds like a pig, men and women upon all fours, running carelessly, ejaculating their filthy little missives into the streets, alleys and gutters, running freely with the careless spill of their conjoinings, the air thick with the whimperings of lust, bodies streaked with their own emissions. We have created a world where man is so utterly debased, he will spray his seed over passers-by, and yet this is the condition Babbage aspired to. No, this is not the machine we seek. Such an entity would be nothing less than a deity, and we would fall upon our knees and worship it. We shall not carve gods to bicker and fornicate. They will exist to clean the world and set us free. I reject Babbage as I reject these men of government. Let the pigs copulate in the gutters whilst they can, and we shall scoop them up and ease their ascension sooner. Damn. That is kind of nasty. That's what you're doing. Atmosphere is so interesting in this one. I mean, they're all interesting in all three, especially Amnesia Dark Descent, but this one is different. Like, I like the streets kind of feeling it's giving me. Kind of reminds me of Silent Hill a little bit. Holy orders. The church is connected to the plant. How odd. However, it does suggest another route into the main part of the facility, given the locked doors around the fueling station. The truck blocks my way, however, almost as if the saboteur knew that I might consider the alternative entrance. How in blazes are we supposed to meet those damn schedules if even the basic equipment we are provided with simply will not perform its designated function? These cursed newfangled trucks will only run a fraction of the distance my old nag managed before running out of stinking gasoline. The gaffer says it's fine and there's plenty of pumps to refill them outside the factory walls, but you end up dragging a blessed tank from the truck to the nearest one to refill it, and the one in the storeroom is empty again. I can't be turning that crank handle all day only to find the tank is empty. Well, sod, it says I. Enough for a night, and to my bed I go. It's not like anyone needs access to the bleeding graveyard anyway. Harry, if you get this, I'll meet you in the Damson Templar for a jar.
Come on, Papa. Let's climb this one. I can see more pictures at the top.
strange container. This canister looks as if it may fill the fuel pump I saw earlier. It certainly carried the same, what does that say? Fatigue? Unholy reek. Yeah, that's weird. Never seen that word before. I will not think of that which I saw pass me in its cage. I will not gaze again into that dark machine room. A more immediate task presents itself, and the opportunity perhaps to gain access to St. Dunstan's. Okay, so this is where I'm at now. And I'm gonna have to get down there. So I guess I started here, then went here, then here. So I guess here, and then there's the next place. If I had to guess. So then we're gonna take this. Take it back to where I came from. Fast getaway. Dear sweet Lord, all that is good and holy, I must make my escape, grasp the container and its putrid contents, and flee this place before that creature that nearly man returns. I will head for the church, surely, as such an abomination could not follow into hollow ground. Damn it. Probably what I have to use this for. Let's see, where do I place it? My question. There, it looks like. Yep.
This way, Papa. Come and see. Will it hatch? Can we take it home?
Yes, my darlings. Of course we can take it home.
What did we take home? Question mark. see. Ooh, what do we have here? Nothing. Just a light. Can't grab it. That sucks. Maybe that would have been something. Livestock and Bibles. Piggly, piggly blue china eyes. My love comes to me in the fairest disguise. We skips and we trotters. I seize her hind trotters and enter her porcelain thighs. Oh. Well then. The best part is I still have plenty of time to play. Inside St. Dunstan's. We sat here. I remember we sat in our black and we mourned and we prayed and we bowed our heads. How I hated God then. How I spurned him. If this is our Lord, this pig who robs me of my life, then I refute his embrace. I will carve a new God for us all. A new God for us all. Such madness, such a fool I was. If such blasphemous ravings had remained with me, I would be doomed. But even here, I feel the machine throb beneath the flags, and I know my path awaits me. Interesting. The same way. Hold on. That's stuck. Just want to see if there's anything on the other side. Twin candles, bent to the will of the central saint, casting their light to the corners of the chapel. Father Jeremiah thought could be trusted with the secret, but he is like all the others. So the old priest has gone to the holding pens with his flock. He says he will enter into our world with them, a shepherd indeed. Stop those sounds. I don't think it really matters which way to go. Let's go to the left. Just want to make sure it doesn't matter.
Your faith shackles your vision, Professor. It is an iron coffin that keeps you from grasping the future. We require a new deity, one of steam and the wheel, of magnetism and progress. The old god is nothing more than a lamed hog, spitting back offal at mankind.
Candles, and the same thing for the other way, I'm guessing. Yeah, candles. They flock to us now, where once I had to walk amongst them to bring salvation into their lives, now drawn by warmth and winter, by the food that man distributes. My church is full and my charges are saved. He walks amongst them and they almost worship him. He will not allow them to work in his factories, claiming that his workforce are specifically were specially trained for the new machinery he uses, and that it would be irresponsible, nay unethical, to risk such precious lives as he sees here. Changed man since Mexico, it is to be praised that in the face of such appalling tragedy, and from the confines of his sickbed as he is often chained to, he conducts one of the greatest and most benevolent charities in all of London. Not content with the rise to become the dominant food produce business in the land, he distributes his goodwill, his fares to the poor, and they congregate about his kingdom in gratitude. It's this room at the end of the hall. If I remember correctly. Yeah. Right in here. Sure there's nothing there. That I didn't see. Machinery. The engine fires, the flames are stoked. I hear steam in the walls, vibration upon the very air. My heart falters at the prospect of throwing the lever and exposing the workings of this dark contraption, but my children beckon on, and I cannot fail them. Oh, that scared the fuck out of me. I don't know why it did, but it did. A hellish portal. It appears I have no choice. Thus I descend, and may God have mercy upon my soul. If this is my bedlam, and I am to be cast as Matthews, then I will wear the mantle for the sake of my boys, and face whatever horrors lie beneath the altar. So interesting. I can't stop playing.
Listen, Papa. Hold the axe to your head. You can hear the sea.
One second. What exhumation is this? What rotten fruit? What these stitching parts? I doubt I'll ever be found, yet I leave you this, scrawled in the malodorous half-light, whilst my tormentor shuffles below. My fellow prisoners keen and squeal in the gloam, and where I wait for the knocking upon my cage that signifies it finally my turn to take that dark journey into the interior. Yeah, this looks like where I'm supposed to go. Yeah, nice. So the stoking. Pulling cogwheels now, sneezed into his handkerchief when the dust got into his eyes. Had begun to change more rapidly now, he surmised. Like the rhyming. throat. Throat. One second. Okay.
Water in his shoes. Always the water, and the sparks of the embers and the wheels. It's too bony! It's too damn bony!
Man, this processing company. My soul shudders at what I have seen, but at last I have reached the main part of the factory. Now onwards, downward to find those flood waters and drain them away like Moses. I'll cleave the waters and lift my little darlings clear of its vile cradle.
These men, Professor, these so-called men of vision, they would shackle the masses to a wheel and turn it till their backs break. All for that opiate, the lure of profit. These fools who lackey them, these priests, these officials, this government, they make pigs of us all. But what solution, my dear man? How to break a cycle? You cannot simply remove the promise of a better world for these unfortunates. In the workhouses, in the orphanages, the belief in heaven is surely the only succor one can find. We do not need to wait. We can bring forth paradise now. We can speed the passion. With only a small sacrifice, we can hold the apocalypse. With just a small sacrifice, we can free our shackles and deliver them to paradise now.
Cameron now. One second. Alright.
Hear me, Landis. I am compromised. Our contacts must be brief and occasional. Beware the witches who populate this compound. The way you seek is under the pistons. When you meet the saboteur, you will understand everything.
Each compartment is ergonomically designed with a feed trough at one end, so the product naturally settles into a position ready for the stunning arms to connect to the skull. We use a natural static charge built up by the friction of the carts between the belt, built electrical charge, which is contained within glass vacuum canisters at the sides of the studying our mechanism and delivered along the stun arms via copper cabling. We have observed that the artificial lighting contained within these canisters seems to calm the product further. Post stunning, the line tilts sharply to the vertical, physics of which tips the stunned product upwards to fall directly onto the hooks of the bleeding line. This hook passes normally through the haunch or thigh of the product, and from this point we dispense it with the belt and instead instigate a channeled flower, which creates a funnel allowing blood and byproduct excretions to collect and run to the fluid collection tanks. Yeah, I've been playing this game a long time. Doesn't even feel like it, to be honest. I'm actually enjoying it. Maybe that's why. Right, so I guess now I have to go down there. At least that's what it seems like. Nothing in there. Interesting. A series of collecting vents have been installed along the ceiling at this stage of the line. In the process of stunning and bleeding, the product often expels stinky vapors from its digestive system, which can be collected, condensed, and used in the methane boiler to drive the engine as a whole. In this way, the more product is processed, the more power becomes available to the machine, and productivity is actually increased. A simple stroke of genius, but one that encapsulates the benefits of self-regulatory automation. So, are your furnaces fueled? Okay, how would I fuel them? Question mark. Right, so that's where I came from, and yeah, how do I fuel them? Oh, okay, I see. How much should I put in there? Those pieces. I don't see any other pieces. Okay. So those are done. For the other ones, yeah. I'm guessing, I mean, I don't know, this is just a guess, but my guess is that you need a certain amount that it's asking for, like it's asking for 3. Okay. Someone's asking for 6. At least that's what I think that means. I'd say. Lily's Lily's arms are made of steel. Lily's arms are silent. Pistons are silent. The plan is at rest. I must poke the hornet's nest to open my way. I fear the scale of these engines suggests a far greater works than is visible from the surface. So, my friend must be correct, and a large part of this plan is underground. We are close to the Thames. No wonder flooding is such a risk. No, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe I could just put in 3 and it'll still count. I'll have to see, but it might still count. Yeah. Okay, so it's as long as you have 3. Iron and steel. The fires are stoked, assuming the same architect is responsible here as with the chemical plant. Surmise that centralized control system regulates and operates the pistons. It should be a simple matter of finding it and hoping the saboteur relented after simply extinguishing the fires. We have to go back in here. Then we have to turn these. fuck. I was trying to get around him, but he just stayed there. Oh, okay. That's a weird area to put me in, but okay. Be more careful as to not alert him of my presence. So there he goes. Oh shit! Where did... There's two of them? Yo, where did the second one come from? Unless he just went all the way around. Like a dick. Yeah, he just went all the way around. Like a dick. Where is he? He's over there for some reason. I don't know what that means, but... Damn, all he needs to see is a flashlight and he just goes off. I'm assuming I have to be over here, but when I was over here, nothing was happening. So I don't know what that means, but it must mean something. I can't jump on that. So there has to be something else I'm supposed to do. So, what am I supposed to be doing exactly? Product moves now into the bleeding. A system of spring-loaded blades are arranged here. Tension is built via a series of springs that run along the bleeding line, using the momentum of the product itself to build up the energy for the action ahead. The blades are released at a point of optimum tension as the product passes them. A combination of the speed of release and the sudden stop against the rubber buffers at the side of the line sets the blade spinning rapidly enough to cut the throat of the product. It is a clean, sympathetic, and efficient process. The product then continues along the line, and the natural bleeding process is allowed time to occur. The bleeding collecting in the angled basin at the foot of the line. Secondary spring blades are positioned at two further points along the line. Should the mid-level rubber buffers continue to be manipulated in the form of a semi-bled product thrashing or twitching, these movements automatically form the basis of the spring energy required to send the next bleeding blade into activity. Gotcha. Continues. What did that dark voice instruct me to do? Under the pistons, into the tunnels, and onto the bile pumps. And if the door should be locked, I will have to find another means of descent. I cannot trust him, but my path is set. I shall ignore these noises. That snuffling, those shuffling steps below me. I will brave whatever lurks beneath, and I will save them. What a dedicated dad you are. freight arrived this morning and I had it delivered directly to the workshop. The body is remarkably preserved, although there is a subtle yet nauseating stench of damp and rot. It is humanoid in shape, but has suffered a severe skeletal deformity. Remnants of leather straps encase the torso, which is deformed, with evidence of substantial muscle mass and displacement. It's difficult to ascertain whether this unfortunate is the recipient of some barbarous surgery or was born deformed, and an attempt to force its gnarled body to some semblance of humanity was made. What he is I cannot tell, but I smell the orb upon him and suspect my great uncle's presence in this curious condition. So it can be done. We can reshape the body into a tool, accelerate the process of Mr. Darwin's evolution. But here, my great uncle and I part company. He chose men as the subject of experiments, but men are difficult to control and rotten with sentimentality. No, we require a new creature for our chattels. Loyal, clever, strong, easily sedated. Compound X. No naked frames. That's it. Oh, chemical transportation, danger, highly corrosive. Nest of eggs. It is cradled in his sweating hands. It sucks the fever loose from his body. He dreams of birds far above in the jungle canopy, a jaguar crouching at the dawn. Sabotage. Bruised and battered but alive, I have survived the saboteur's best efforts. He and I are now locked in an epic struggle, but I am driven to find my family and I will prevail. Ignore the madness about me. Do not consider what cruel and unspeakable acts have been committed here. Find the way to the bile, drain the blood for your children.
Quickly, Mantis, find the entrance nearby. The children weep in the darkness, and the floodwaters continue to rise.
In order to facilitate assimilation of tissue groups, a compound is required or the cells will not bond. Disposal of non-bonded subjects must be immediate, and using incineration or we risk continuous animation without form. This is unpleasant. Simple compound of 1 part Brennenbergen fusion vitae to 1 part Oregon monad dispersal fluid is sufficient. This can be administered intravenously to subjects following reassembly to maintain bonding. The compound is unstable and highly light reactive. Once in the body, the Schumann lamp can be used to activate the compound, but outside the body is highly corrosive. It can destroy all small quantities of metal. Maintenance actors. There is clearly another passage beyond the lock gates. It seems to have a choice of approach. Padlock is old but firm, and after that fall, I cannot summon the strength to break it open. Perhaps I can find another way. Centrifuge. Some form of bizarre mixing device for chemical compounds, but possibly reeks of the foul fluids I have seen too often before. It is clearly a compound, some volatile bastard of two composite ingredients. I should wager I would find them close by. Took delivery of another batch of imbeciles today. They're the sorriest specimens of humanity I've ever seen. No one asks where they go to. The authorities of Bedlam are simply happy to reduce the overcrowding in their teeming, stinking halls. We measure their skulls, check their teeth. We get them landulum to pacify them. They wait in line, livestock, the dull brown eyes and filthy skin. Many soil themselves as they wait. Into the manipulated foul in silence. I hear the hissing of gas. I hear the dull groaning as teeth are removed, as bones are reset. I hear the pigs screaming. We have removed all the mirrors. After the process, it is their reflections that trouble them the most. Afterwards, when they sleep, I walk amongst them. My children, I whisper to their dreams. You are my children now. I have children once again, and your forms imperfect will be the engine to make my own blood flow again. What? Shit.
Over there, place it in the corner. What? You think I speak Prussian? Do I look like an inbred hog, sir? Who gives a damn what it contains? Just set it down carefully and leave me be.
come on. Fuck you. The access pipeline, opiate dispensing, gag throttle, biopumps, disposal tubes, engine rooms, boiler, organ towers.
The lift has been sabotaged. You will have to find another way to the tunnel. Take care in this place, Mendes. It is the crucible of the evil that stalks these corridors.
More experiments with Compound X. Took the dog and injected it with styrosine. After the expected convulsion and spasming, it died just after midnight. I immersed the body in a large tank of Compound X, induced an alternating current via induction coil for a period of 3.5 minutes. Partial return was induced, however, damage incurred prior to death was retained upon revival, meaning the dog continued in that acute state of syringine poison until I put a bullet in its skull. But drowning, perhaps, yes. It is, after all, known to be the kindest of suicides. If one were to drown, placing the fluid in the lungs with Compound X would theoretically be perfectly possible as a revival method. Theoretically. What? Do you guys just see that? Yo, what? Yo, that's fucking weird. That's weird. Yo, what? That area just disappeared. Well, since that area just completely and utterly disappeared. And I have no idea why that happened. Okay, so we go all the way there. Is there anything here? Nope. Alright. So we're just gonna go up there. Damn, that really threw me for a loop. That area completely disappeared. It's like it never existed. Did it just take me back to where I was before? Or is this different? Low temperature storage. This looks very similar to the place I was before. Yeah, it is. Shimmy. Well, in any case, I'm gonna stop it here. Thank you guys for watching. This is good. This is really good. Save my progress. It's really good. I really like A Machine for Pigs. It's really creepy, really weird. It's, you know, my style. So, anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.